When you look at the history of mankind, you see storytelling woven into the very beginning, all the way through, today building relationships and making people care. So when we sit around at the end of the day, we took this wide world of stimuli, all of the things that we learned and experienced, and packaged them in ways members understand and could remember, and stories became this key way for us to remember. That's the power of a storyteller. It's how, through stories, you remember the parables, the life lessons, the things that you need to do to be a better person or to connect to this organization. The stories are the mechanics that do that. When you look at the history of business, the business that have the most loyalty, the best relationships, that have subscribers, and the ones that are in the business of storytelling, they are the newspapers, the magazines, the movie companies, and television studios. Their business of storytelling and that build relationships and make people care, to the point that most of us must pay them to get our message out to the people who are paying attention to them. But if you look throughout the history of business, stories have been used to make people care about products as well. If you look at Ford Motor Company, in the late 2000s, they were in trouble when their cars were seen as not as high quality as they used to be. People were disappointed and sales was falling. So Ford did this. He used storytelling to get people to care about them again. They took documentary film crews into the Ford factories, where they interviewed the employees who were working on cars and on the assembly lines, who were designing things. And they said to the cameras, they said, look, we know that we have screwed up. We know that Ford isn't what it used to be, but we all working hard together to make it back to what it used to do and to make it even better. So we are going to show you the stories of the people who are your neighbors, who are working on these cars, who are working to make these products, the product that you know and love. And this helped Ford turn things around and become again this great brand that people love and help them, and the sales, of course. So stories have been used throughout history for goods to make people connect to business, to products, to each other. But we should note that stories have also been used in history for evil. The good news is that at the end of the day, if we are using stories for evil, people tend to find the truth tends to come out, and people tend to eventually turn around and discover the truth and the true story. But we need to recognize that when we are using stories to connect with people, to build our businesses, to build our relationship, that we need to use them for good. And that if we become incongruent with our stories, that people will smell a rat, that humans are able to discern. For stories to really work, to be powerful in the long run, they must be honest and it should be authentic. In the next session, which is the third session in this series, we learn more about how to make creative and unique visualization and make you stand out. This knowledge is going to accelerate your ability to create great stories, to influence decision makers. So don't miss, and let's meet in the next session. Thank you.